Michelle,
Lauren.
it's been only 1 week of using my brick, the brick to brick me out of social media.
Yeah, you haven't stopped talking about it.
Well, my brain is healing.
I can tell. I can see. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy for you.
I'm excited to dive in. We're going to do a whole convo on the benefits of bricking.
Yeah.
And I know how annoyed it is for you to hear bricking.
That in on the end that's actually the trigger that bricking and tearing. I can't. No, I'm happy for you. And I mean, I've not been bricking as much as you, and I've definitely not been talking about it as much as you.
Because you're not bricking as much as me.
And I guess I'm just not bricking enough.
What did you say earlier? That hearing me say brick is just as
the hearing you say I've been bricking is the equivalent, and the level of annoyance I have around you saying it is the equivalent to me telling
when
everything
I
that you
say.
did when you would tell me something and I would tell you to let them.
I would be like, Michelle, some guy just ran over a pedestrian. She'd be like, let them. Mel Robbins says, let them. I was like, right. Okay. How do I have this conversation?
That, just for the record, I never said let them do that. And I also didn't fully agree that letting things like being like your abusive family walk all over you should just let them. I didn't agree with that either. Got it?
A lighting. Oh my God. Okay. So before we dive into bricking, this podcast is sponsored by Posey Law Group. We've talked about Stephanie Posey and her law group before, and I think it's worth shouting her out a couple more times because we're still partners. And so listen, if you are looking for a lawyer to help with estate planning, real estate, entrepreneur, legal things that you need done, tied up, zipped up, ready to go, so you know that you're in good legal standing, Stephanie Posey is the woman for you.
She's your girl.
And we're still up, we're wrapping up March, but we're still in, Women's History Month. And not that she's history, but
she ain't history. She's present day woman.
But you know what? We're still celebrating women every day, whatever month it is.
365 days a year.
Yes, we are. So Posey Law Group, you can check out more about Posey Law Group at poseylawgroup.com. All right, we're at episode 383 today, Michelle. And this week, I am caring less about sleeping through a 6 a.m. Pilates class that I've been committed to for the past few months now. And the reason why this is like monumental for me,
I need to hear this.
Okay, because I pay for 8 sessions per month. And it's one of those things that if you like sleep through it or if you don't cancel like 12 hours,
you lose that cash.
You lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, I like watch this stuff and I'm like, okay, how much I'm missing out on a class. I wasted money. Mm-hmm. And that would really bother me.
Chap your hide.
Yes. And that would bother me for like a day or two. I'd be like, is there a way I can like get that class back? But instead I was like, you know what? I'm going to care less about it. And also I clearly needed the sleep.
Sleep. It happens, man.
And sometimes the sleep is more important than the workout.
Hello. And caring less. Hello. Sleep is the foundation of good health. You'll make it up. No one's going to die because you slept in.
Dude,
you're actually going to live longer.
I got a 98. Anthony, I don't know if you want to hear this. You might be jealous.
Yeah,
I got a 98 score.
Are you kidding?
I've been in the 90s lately. 98.
Is that the highest you've ever gotten?
Yeah, it's pretty high, man.
I'm pretty sure I got an 8 last night. How about you, bud?
I mean, if I didn't do one of my 12 things I have to do before bedtime, I would be at a -4.
Oh, God.
He's got so many steps.
I'll do a checklist of 11 things just to hit like in the 80s, and Lauren will do nothing. And then
I'll do nothing. But I will say 80s is good, though. That's better than like 40, 50, 60.
Absolutely.
I say like 70 or above, and I'm no sleep expert, but I'm just looking at numbers here. And I'm looking at like grade averages, like a 70, a C average. It's better than flunking.
Half. You ain't failing.
So that's what I'm carrying.
Good for you. I love that.
Thank you. These are all small steps on working on myself.
Well, it kind of makes me laugh when I think about how I am when I waste money in different ways, which is like throwing large amounts into a fire. And I'm like,
I'm so different.
It's only money.
That's kind of where my head was the other day too. I was like, whatever, it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. But Michelle, you and I are so opposite. I will return something that I didn't like.
Okay.
I'll open a mascara and be like, absolutely not, and close it and bring it back.
Okay. I have to say, I have changed in that way.
Go ahead.
In the olden days, I would just maybe donate it to Goodwill, if even with a tag on, unused. Nowadays, absolutely not. I bought some
Are you
things,
returning things?
Everything.
Oh,
I
wow.
return everything.
Okay.
I bought some things randomly at H&M, and I was like, What was I thinking?
Oh, I hate when that happens.
Was I smoking the drapes before I went into that store and left with what? You should have seen what I left with.
It's probably plastic because I watched
Caca.
I watched the plastic detox on
and
basically we're all dying of plastic.
Okay, so we should,
including your clothes.
Everything.
I mean,
everything is synthetic.
I think they said like polyester. Yes, and that's why like thrifters, like if you talk to like someone like our friend Danielle DeBias, who is really keen on like sustainable clothing.
Closet.
Yeah, basically back in the day they just didn't use such shit for our clothes. I mean, plastics and
everything is shit. Everything that it is, that old saying, they just don't make things the way they used to, is a real thing.
It is a totally real thing. And in fact, we should put a pin in this conversation and watch that full, because I only got through
I was tempted to.
Let's watch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I went into the room, to settle in for the night. And Lauren is in an interesting, you were like reclined in the bed.
Shut up.
With your arms with the arms above you, just sleeping, and literally on the TV is like will kill you. Everything, your shampoo will kill you. Your pillow,
sound asleep. I'm sleeping in peace.
Well, I feel like the brick might be helping then, because that sounds like content that would normally put you into a tailspin.
No, because I know about the plastic epidemic, and I think
for some reason you're not too worried about that.
Well,
one.
It's
that
interesting.
One's not keeping you up at night.
No, especially since because I had a baby. Because here's the root of the story.
What?
Those scientists, this woman, she said she spent 25 years focused on this this situation, that most of the 6 couples she's working with are people who are suffering from infertility. There's plastic in sperm, there's plastic in brains. I mean, it's everywhere. So she is and so if I hadn't had a baby yet, I might be like spinning out that I can't get pregnant because of all the plastic in my body.
Now, you guys thought you guys were coming to listen to an episode of Cozy Conversations, but instead we had Debbie Downer drop in for a guest interview.
Well, let's
Debbie Downer.
Let's go from Michelle.
Cozy death by plastic.
Cozy. We're all going to stay cozy. We're all going to die.
Good.
Michelle, let's talk about dumplings for the win.
Oh, I wish I could pronounce the name of where I went.
I don't know how you pronounce this either. Let's try. Is it like Xingsheng Wan?
Xingsheng Wan dumplings in Chicago's Chinatown. Sounds like a great first attempt. Hang on a second.
It's not bad.
I feel like do I have like okay, I got it. Yes. Mia had a game in the city. She was actually right, like literally under the overpass from Chinatown. So afterwards, Ryan and I were like, kids, you're on your own. And we went.
I was there with you. You guys were, but you guys were hemming and hawing over where you guys were going to go.
Oh, God. And you know what? Guess who had the best time?
Ryan did.
Loved it.
So he was okay with not going to the local tavern.
Yes. Okay. I wouldn't, Lauren, you knew I was not going to agree to that.
Well, and I really appreciate your want and love for cultural experiences. You're like, we're right by Chinatown. Why are we not going?
And I mean, like we live in a world-class city.
I know.
Like we live in one of the most unbelievable cities you could possibly live near. For food. And if I go back to LaGrange, and I love my town.
I mean, I know, but it's not Chicago.
It ain't the city. And if I eat at one of those restaurants one more time, I'm going to turn into one of those restaurants. So like, I just was like, let's change it up, bud. And so we had the cucumber salad to start.
I love a good cucumber salad.
Oh my God.
Was it
so
spicy?
Good. It was so
and
fresh
was it
and
cold?
crunchy. It was cold. It was a bit of a sweet, a sweet marinade, if you will. And they had on the table, which you had me at tableside vat of chili pepper.
Like oil?
Oil.
Okay.
It was to die for.
This sounds so good.
So started with that, and then we did 2 steamed soup dumplings to start. Obsessed. One was a beef, one was a pork and cabbage, and then we rounded it out with a fried, lightly fried, not heavily fried, lamb and coriander stuffed dumpling.
Coriander.
Cilantro. Think cilantro.
Why is that?
That's what coriander is.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely cannot wait to go back.
Okay. Are they coming in the basket like
Yes.
you see?
And it's communal dining, really. This place is you're in and you're out. You're coming in. This place is like the Apple store of dumpling service.
And you found it how?
I TikToked my little balls off.
Dude,
and
this sounds so good.
Too many people were like, this is where I go for dumplings in Chicago. You have to go. It was great. And on the walls were screen TVs they were showing you. And also, I had tea. I had a big
Like
pot,
a green tea?
like a pot of oolong tea.
Ooh, yum.
And it was divine. And I was watching how the tea is grown, and Ryan was watching something on the other side, whatever. And we were just sitting shoulder to shoulder, talking to the people next to you.
That sounds so
and
lovely.
Service was fantastic. Like it was honestly, and Ryan had a Tsingtao, or no, maybe he changed it.
Oh, like an Asian beer?
An Asian beer. People,
Yes.
It's a BYOB. You can bring whatever you want in, and it was fantastic.
My favorite beers to get at like a Chinese restaurant. Well, I think it was a Korean barbecue place, but it was in Chinatown that we went to a few weeks back is the Lucky Buddha. Actually, if you look over your right shoulder, it's
Hang on
right
a second.
there.
I can't turn my head. Hang on.
Michelle's got a crick in her neck.
Wait, what
That's,
is it?
do you see that bottle?
Yeah.
It's Buddha with his arms up.
Cool.
It's so cute because I'm going to propagate. I'm going to pop something in there.
Cute.
But we went to a Korean barbecue place not too long ago. The experiences there are so fun.
So fun.
Very meat heavy. I asked you this.
Dumplings,
are there
many
vegetables?
Veggie,
Okay.
Tons. We didn't even dabble or look in that direction. And I will tell you, I know, because I too am picky about what's stuffed inside my pouches of goodness. And there was not ever a moment or a bite where I was like, one of these things that I just bit on is kind of making me want to get sad in the bathroom. No, it was delightful.
I literally, do you know where my brain goes?
Where?
Okay, after
Where?
you said sad in the bathroom, here's where my brain goes. And this is why I've been working on like my mental health and anxiety, because this is literally I'm thinking food, eating, bathroom, and I think of this stat fact that I learned recently.
Oh, hang on. Debbie Downer's coming back. She just can't stay away. What?
That if you're ever choking.
I knew you were going to talk about the choking.
It's so true because it's a really important thing to know.
Is it a hack? It's a life-saving hack?
It is, actually. If you are ever finding yourself choking anywhere, never leave to go take care of it by yourself, because that's when you die. You need to be with, because you'll get their Heimlich. Someone's going to notice, because a lot of people remove themselves out of embarrassment.
No.
And so they go and they go hide in the bathroom, and then they pass away. So
that story reminds me of that one time I went out to dinner with my work staff when I worked downtown, and we went to a steak joint with one of our vendors who treated us annually. And let me tell you, annually, something weird happened there. And it was the first time we went with this gentleman, and we sat down and everybody was eating. And I'm at fault because I said something funny.
Oh my God,
and
you caused
he
it.
laughed
And it lodged.
and inhaled a piece of beef in his windpipe.
No.
And he didn't go to the bathroom
Thank God.
out of sheer embarrassment.
Good.
He stood up.
yes.
What did he did all of the national choking
signs of choking.
And then I stood up and I slammed my hands on the table.
For
I
why?
yelled his name and was like about a pubic hair away from calling an ambulance. And he did what you are not supposed to do, which was reached in and grabbed the piece of beef.
Oh my God, Michelle.
Saved his own life. The entire table got shrapneled with the choking, and then he sat down and picked up right where he left off while we all sat there like covered in the remnants. And I looked at my friend to the right. I looked at my friend to the right, and she looked at me, and she took a breath and she goes, if you don't mind, I'm going to excuse myself to the bathroom and clean off.
I am crying. Because all I envision is like the Blue Man Group.
We needed plastic ponchos. We did. It's a mind-blowing
Hold on. I have to see if I've got black. Oh my God, I'm crying.
Mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like it.
Michelle, I'm so happy. Now, yes, that is also, you're not supposed to do that. It can get lodged further.
He saved his own life.
There are so many,
that story lives on.
Oh my God, I'm so happy that he lived, and you can tell the tale.
Yeah.
Thank you for that laugh.
Anytime.
Oh
you just
God.
added 5 years onto your life.
The way that you tell that story, though, and the way that you say that he pulled it, unlodged it, and then projectile.
Shrapnel, whole table. It was like a sprinkler system
Bless
of
him
shrapnel.
for being so like, you know what? I'm not dying today. He'll get into his own hands, literally and figuratively, and saved his life.
And he did.
And while I can see you and your friends, because I know every single person who's sitting at that table, just being like,
haven't been the same since. It never came back from that one.
Oh, I love laughing.
Yep, same.
Remember, if you're not laughing, you're dead. I've mixed up these things.
Literally the funniest
Doesn't matter.
statement. I just cracked a rib and separated my rib meat.
I literally have tears.
Yeah,
so we're going to take a quick moment here to talk about something really important, especially for our Chicago listeners.
Let's hear it.
Right now, there is an immediate need for emergency foster homes in our community. Every single day, and I did not honestly realize this, there are youths entering foster care every single day. I mean, it makes sense, but when you don't think about it, it doesn't hit you until you really read about it. And without enough homes available, some of these kids are temporarily housed and staying in offices or shelters, which is just not okay.
No.
That is why Let It Be Us is partnering with Shelter Youth and Family Services to find people who can step up as emergency foster parents. These are short-term placements, typically just 2 to 4 weeks, while a longer term is being planned and figured out for these children.
So they're safe and fed
and in a
clean
home,
and cared for.
All of the above.
Love it.
It's a small window of time that can make a really big difference, offering stability and care during one of the hardest moments of a child's life. If this is something you, listener, you've ever thought about or even just felt curious about, you can learn more about this at letitbeus.org. And we'll also link everything in our show notes. Thank you again, Let It Be Us, for partnering with us to share this message. This is huge, and this is something that these children need, and we are here to support this cause in every way we can. And listeners, so you know, in the coming months, there's going to be more opportunities for you to show up for Let It Be Us if you choose to, with different events and donation and volunteer and foster care opportunities. So stay tuned. Okay, Michelle, diving into our hot topic.
Yes.
So, okay. You guys were bricking, and I know Michelle.
I'm
you're
joking
good.
about my annoyance, but I'm half joking. I am bricking too. I'm just not bricking as much as Lauren.
No, and I'm proud of my bricking because my addiction with my social media hit an all-time high, and it all started back in November. I think I had a decently healthy relationship with my social media until, honestly, when ICE came to Chicago, that is when I became glued to my phone. Because I wanted to watch. I'm like, what's happening? I live here. And so once that started, it just never stopped. And ironically, and I mean, everything has gone even into a bigger shit show since then. So I was really glued to all the going-ons.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't really know what's going on with a lot of things these days because I've detached myself from the constant influx of the social media and now move into a more volunteering myself to look into the news.
That's why you can look for the information and you can get the information in a more positive, healthy way. Because I think that social media is so dangerous because
my God.
What you see, I have to constantly be reminding myself is kicked up to the top of the more negative, the more horrific, the more prevalent it is in your feed. And that is a dangerous for your mental health. And also sometimes, like, not saying that these things aren't happening because they absolutely are, but the amount of times that you're seeing it magnifies it tenfold.
Well, there's that, and there's also like fact checking what's real and what's not. So I'm kind of like, I've got my trusted news sources,
which are what now?
Well, I'm a sucker for NPR, New York Times. Those are my two main sources and always have been. And I love Aaron Parnas on social media. He's a journalist, a young journalist that I follow, and I find him to be pretty legit. But again, there's a bit of bias there, and I have to make sure. I mean, all news sources are. I mean,
what would be your like middle leaning or like right leaning? Anthony, I know you take news.
I don't go to right. I don't do
Anthony,
right-leaning.
you take news from all sides.
I do.
Where do you gather? What would be your three forms, like left, middle, right, that you would gather from?
Man, I don't know. Like I go to my
Newsmax?
my Apple News.
You have
No.
Newsmax?
No.
Newsmax. Well, no,
Unless you want to get taken.
No, I got my dose of Newsmax in a taxi yesterday.
You
because
always
that's
will.
Oh, you were getting
alarming.
dementia?
Ads. Well, that's
Dementia
the ad.
ads?
The ads come after the Newsmax rollout in
Yeah,
cabs.
Okay.
Newsmax has a nice contract with the taxi cabs
That's
where
correct.
Newsmax is just
Amazing.
blasted to all
Awesome.
the
It
people in
is.
the back seat.
And you can mute that or
against their
stop
will.
it.
Yes, but anyway,
So you're getting you're getting that news there.
Yep.
I get
Got
that
it.
news there.
Got it.
And I get my algorithm, which feeds me my stuff, but then I'll look at what other people I know
Yeah.
opposite of me
Yes,
are looking
exactly.
at.
Well, we're all, yeah.
And then I'll
Exactly.
look at, if something big's happening, and I'll turn on CNN and then turn
Okay.
on Fox News.
Okay.
And then that's like watching two different.
Worlds.
different worlds.
Two different
Yeah,
worlds.
it's like-
Totally
yeah.
two different planet experiences.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we really are living, each of us are living with a different lens and perspective due to what our algo
Yes.
feeds us. And just for you asked me about like in regards to getting news that's not so biased. They say that Al Jazeera and the Associated Press are like the Associated Press calls the elections.
Got it.
Yeah, there's also I just pulled it up on my phone. I haven't looked at it yet, but I've been hearing about it. Ground news.
Yes. Did you tell me that? Someone told me
Yes,
that.
I told you about
Okay.
it. I've heard it from someone else, but ground news is supposedly like middle, but also it shows you the bias. I think it like shows you articles and highlights the bias or something like that. So it shows you.
Yeah, how it would be leaned in which way.
That would be interesting. So
Super cool.
more to report on that.
Yeah.
you.
And so I've really been more mindful
Love
of
it.
that. And that wasn't the only reason for me wanting to step away from my social media. First of all, we got the brick. Brick sent us brick. So thank you, Brick, because you have honestly changed how I have been behaving with my phone. And for those of you who don't know what the brick is, it's basically a little square. It looks like, it's about 2 by 2 inches.
It looks like a plastic magnet that says brick on it.
yeah. And you put it on wherever.
your fridge or
Yeah. I put mine in the fridge. Where's yours?
on the fridge.
Yeah, and then you have the app on your phone and you can brick, you hold your phone up or you don't have to be by the brick either. You can brick your phone if you're not near it, if you're like with your friends and you're like, I want to make sure I'm not tempted. You put your phone on brick and then you go to your brick you go to your physical brick when you're ready to unbrick your phone, unlock your apps that you've locked yourself out of and you physically unbrick your phone and then you have freedom to use your phone again. Now, say I brick my phone and you call me up and you're like, Lauren, you have to get on social media real quick and do something for me because I'm whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't have my brick with me. I've got 5 passes to unbrick my phone.
Is that a month?
No, it's basically you have them and they really push that it's an emergency. Like
Okay.
this is like you have to get on.
This is like you don't have to get on TikTok.
No, this is not like
This
you're
is
bored.
you need to have a communication out, maybe
yeah, I've got to do
bricked
something
out
for
your-
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I've got to delete something, edit, whatever. And then what happens when you lose your 5, when you go through your 5 emergency unbricking, it takes 2 business days for them to reload.
Oh.
So they're like unlimited,
Oh my God.
but you know what I'm saying.
Have you used an emergency
no,
yet? Nice.
No, and I've been tempted to, but I'm like, it's not an emergency. But I also did it because, again, I'm watching people like, we talked about it on last week's episode, like eat horse treats. I'm like, what am I
What are we doing?
fucking doing?
What are we doing?
With my brain? I'm literally brain rotting and getting digital dementia.
Dumber by the minute.
Dumber by the minute. And I didn't want to do that anymore. So I've been doing it I think I'm averaging like 14 hours bricked. And my behavior with my brick, everyone's different. Every night at 10 o'clock, my phone bricks.
Okay.
So so even if I go in at 10:01, I'm like, no, I'm locked out. So that's done. But if I'm not on, anytime I'm always bricked unless I want to unbrick just to scroll for a little bit. And it's been a gift.
So my brick habit has been, I've had it less than you, have done it less than you, but my average brick time is 6 hours and something. I'm literally bricking before I go to sleep.
Yeah. And then, so that's not
I'm
available in the morning.
So, which I am finding for me, that's a great way to start. That's like that little change has been kind of massive in the way I start
Totally.
my day, because what I've noticed is I come downstairs, I still haven't looked at my phone. I actually took the time to think about what I'm grateful for or just centered myself, walked downstairs, had my coffee, and then still, because then I'd sit down and I'm like, well, shit, I'm still bricked. So I've found other things to do. It's so weird how we go through these like ebbs and flows of obsessing over
Well,
it.
it's not even, for me, it was an addiction. I mean, I literally, and Anthony and I had conversations about this, that doing anything, making coffee, looking at my phone, preparing food, and or if I'm doing one thing and I'm going to go do something else, I'll stop and scroll for a little bit, lay down for a little bit and scroll. I'm like, this is a fucking time suck.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm so addicted to it. And the most important reason, along with my mental health, was I was tired of Luna ever seeing me just always staring at my fucking phone.
Totally.
It was starting to really get to me. And it would get to me when Anthony was on his phone all the time too. And I was like, yo, we've got some addictions.
Sometimes it would
here.
annoy me when you would call me out for being on my phone.
Yes.
And I was like, why don't you
shut up?
Fucking call yourself out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Her timing could drive you crazy.
I'd be like one day she was like, I'm talking to you.
Well,
Get off
there
your
are
phone.
times when I was like, no, Michelle, to be fair, like I'll be in the middle of a conversation, you'll like pick up your phone and start tapping. And I'm like, well, I'll wait till you're done. That's fair.
I'll wait till you're done is fair.
And I've done that.
You do that 99% of the time, which I appreciate. But I want to talk shit about you right now to our listeners.
There's also the times where she knows like I'm in a bad mood or something or not totally in a good place. And I'm just in the bathroom by myself. And she'll be like, tech snack, man. I'm like, could you just leave me fucking
neck?
alone?
And you will have tech neck. I just want to
What
help
do I
you.
have? I have something.
You got a different neck. Maybe you have tech neck.
I think I got injured from sleep, which sucks.
I'm sorry I'm annoying you guys.
You're not annoying.
Thank you for loving me anyways.
Still love you, and thank you for the brick. It has been.
You're maxing out on brick.
He's like slaying it.
He's like 20 hours.
I feel like brick
average.
like deleted Instagram from my phone.
Same with me. It's like I literally, and you know another thing about it, it's fun to go back on Instagram and see that I have like 10 messages from people.
Instead of being all over it and just
being like
on the
immediate responses. Like that is another thing. It has detached me from constant connectivity. Yes.
Which means you're becoming reconnected with yourself.
Mm-hmm. And listen, there's still a little bit of an addiction with my phone because I'm like, well, what am I going to do with my little phone? And so I found other things.
You're looking for other things, but a little bit better for you.
Yes. Like I'm back on Connections by my New York Times games. And it's a brain game. And I'm like, this is a little bit more useful of my time and
100%.
my brain energy. And I've become obsessed with Substack. And for Substack people, we've got great news for you guys.
We're coming.
We're coming for you. And I already posted one thing, the Sister Project.
Under
Find
construction.
us on.
It's out.
It's under construction.
It's like literally out.
Yeah, but we haven't done the transition because if you follow our newsletter, do know we are shifting to a Substack format.
Mm-hmm. Can't wait.
Have you guys taken the leap to Substack?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you did some cleanup on aisle 2 on some stuff that I originally was following early on or whatever.
I didn't know. Okay.
No, I was fine with it.
Okay.
But I thoroughly enjoy Substack from a consumption perspective. It's a more full experience that's coming. I like the literature sort of leaning into that long form content.
Yes,
that really is what it feels like. At least what we're surrounding ourselves with there.
Anthony, I made you go on Substack too. I'm a bully. I don't know what to tell you guys. I force him not to do things and do other things.
We listen. We listen to everything you tell us.
Not everything, but you don't have to. No. I don't want you to. I'm trying to help. I'm just trying to help.
No, we know. And listen, we just have fun when it's 2 against 1.
And you know what? I get it. I'm just glad that you guys don't text behind my back anymore.
No, we do it right to your face on camera.
That's even better. Honestly, like sometimes I'll get in the mood. I'm like, if you fucking text her, Anthony, I'll kill you.
We haven't had a side.
No side text.
Lauren, it's not ever against you. It's just like for morale.
Yeah. We're all
which is against me, just so you know.
It's not an attack. It's a support.
Same difference. Lauren's, there's something wrong with me that you guys need to support one another.
Yeah, to help you through your thing and help
you
us
two through my
and
thing.
to help
us through your thing.
It's more for us to help each other.
But it's true what we say.
That is my point.
There has not been really a single side text in months, which means
I'm
operating
better.
at full blast.
Yeah, I think it's a good sign mostly, but mostly when she's going off, she's one of the things she will say is like, "Don't you text me so," and then I'm like scared to write you.
Like I'll know it.
Wow,
asshole!
Don't you?
We wonder where Luna gets it.
Don't you?
I know. Someone said to me the other day, they're like, what's Luna like? I'm like, she's awesome. This and that. I'm like, she's got a little feistiness to her. And they're like, and this was a yoga student of mine. She goes, I wonder where she got that. And I'm like, me, I guess.
Duh. I will never forget my soccer coach, Co Thanatabuth. Shout out to any Windy Cityers out there. He was the person that taught me that kids are a direct reflection of their parents. Like he's like, a kid is the way they are because of their mom and dad.
Really?
Good or bad.
And I'm thinking about my mom and dad and like what I got from them. And I think sprinkled.
100%.
What would you say?
No, I mean, like, I think I got so much from my parents, and they're yours too. But since I'm speaking about myself, like, oh my God, no, like just consistency, that we learned that from our dad. Like effort, showing up, we learned that from our dad. Our mom's really creative. And
so creative.
We got that from her. And honestly, our dad's kind of creative in a very abstract business way. And
maybe we had his entrepreneurship.
We got that.
Yeah, that and his book, our love for book reading.
Yes.
The Brick.
Yeah.
The Brick, same thing. Like it just, I feel like it has my stepping back from social media has, and this is the first time I've ever taken this much of action against the addiction I've had to my phone.
That's so awesome.
It's really lovely. And something else that I noticed too when I was getting deeper into my addiction is my emotional, I guess you would say it was deregulation, unregulated,
dysregulated.
Like if I was on my phone and Luna wanted something and I was either responding to something like a social media thing or like reading something and she'd be like, Mama, I'd be like, I was anxious and on edge. And that's not
normal.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy enough to be on edge with kids, but because of the phone, I was like, that's not fair to her
Good
or
for
me.
you. Good for you for noticing that. I've noticed that with myself too. And for sure, watching kids be on their phone. This is what I want to say about the brick that I think is brilliant. Rick the Brick. That's what we should call your brick. Rick the Brick.
The Brick.
I think that this whole thing by design, the way they set it up is brilliant because there's all kinds of ways to set parameters on your phone, but at the end of the day, your phone's always in your hand and you can override literally every single one of them. And with the Brick, it has made it so you can still have your device and use it for the things that aren't wreaking havoc on your nervous system while actually separating and making it harder to reconnect to all of the social media apps that are like sucking the life out of you.
Sucking the life.
It reminds me of something from, I think, Atomic Habits about just putting obstacles in the way or just changing your environment. Because anything, I've done the time thing on my Instagram, and if I hit it on a crazy news day, I'm like, all right, extend another 15 minutes.
Same.
Stupid.
But just that extra obstacle makes a huge difference.
And in that minute, you realize, oh, I can't get on and I'm not going to go change it. And suddenly you found yourself doing something else. And it's so much better.
And noticing other things as well. Once in a while, I take a cab to and from teaching yoga. And today even I was just sitting there and I had my book on me, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to sit and I took a couple deep breaths and then we were at a red light and I looked over the Dunkin' Donuts and I never would have seen this, but I saw like 3 or 4 tables of middle-aged men separately, like two guys, it looked like friends catching up over their Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, that is adorable. Yeah. And yesterday was one of the coolest things I noticed because again, like I'm a creature of, if I was in my car and I've got a red light, what am I doing? I'm picking up my phone and look, I'm going to do a quick scroll. Yep. Can't do that anymore. And I saw the Chicago Henge. Do you know what that is? Oh
my God, you did?
I saw it. Sunrise.
Lucky.
I would not have seen that if I was looking down or in space somewhere. And I saw it and it's really cool. It's that phenomenon where the sun sets or rises between the streets, like on the grid system. It's remarkable. It's like a shining ball.
I do every year. I see the post. Cool. It's Chicago Henge to go.
It's really neat. And I saw it on accident. We've chased it before. We've kind of seen it, but it's remarkable. Yeah. So good news is that the Brick is healing my brain.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Now listen, you guys, I want to tell you that we have a 10% off code. It's the Sister Project. We'll link it in the show notes. We're not one for doing a ton of different codes and whatnot, but I'm going to honestly be like, go get if you feel like you're addicted to your phone, like I was working on, or you just want to have more obstacles to make it easy, to make it less easy to just hop on your phone and doom scroll, I highly recommend.
Oh, I think it's a no-brainer.
It's the best thing I've gotten in the mail.
What is it? $150? $158? How much does it cost?
That's for 2. It's like $60.
No, I think that everybody that has a phone,
I mean, every household should
literally should have a Brick.
I completely agree.
Oh my God. It's like I really think it's the answer to everyone's prayers.
I think it's for families and kids and having like a parent being like, you're done.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to brick my dad's Facebook
Good idea.
He needs that.
We'll never figure it out.
And not tell him.
No, just
Never
break that
figure
shit
it out.
No, it's like $50 for a household. I don't know how it works, but like we only have one for our household. You have one for your household.
They've bricked. Will has bricked up.
It's awesome, you guys. I'll drop the link in the show notes. I hope that you get bricking with it.
Get bricking.
We would like to thank our next sponsor, Chicago Wealth Management Group. And specifically, Michelle, we've talked about our finances in the past and how this agency can help you manage your finances and plan for the future. But two things that we wanted to just be like, hey, keep in mind, tax season is coming up.
It's here.
It's here. Not only tax season, Michelle, but graduation season is also upon us.
Cha-ching.
And I mean, we were cha-ching, exactly. I mean, in different ways, right? And let's talk 529s for a moment.
Okay.
These are those college savings accounts that a lot of families might start open and have been putting money into. And we are hearing from our guy, Rick Shanley,
what's he saying?
that there's a lot of laws that have changed that allow for some interesting uses for your 529 plans, whether you are preparing to pay for school or if you have extra funds left in your accounts.
Oh, wouldn't that be a treat?
Oh, wouldn't that be a treat? I don't know if that's going to happen.
No pressure.
But also, and this is exciting, Rick Shanley, he just hit his 25th year of doing this. So this is a gentleman who's been in the biz, who has seen different trends and different ways to support families and their finances. So again, you guys, think about touching base with Rick Shanley at Chicago Wealth Management Group. All of our sponsors' links are in our show notes. Thank you for sponsoring our reading, watching, and listening segment. Michelle,
yes.
What are you reading?
Well, yes, surprise, surprise. I have come out of my bad book phase.
Oh, congrats.
Ryan and I took a little walk to the library and I picked up a few books. And this one, I have been seeing the author of this gentleman's name is John Fugelsang, and he wrote a book called Separation of Church and Hate.
Okay.
Have you guys seen him go on a little bit of a press junket?
I've seen him. I've heard of him.
No.
So he's like an ex-comedian.
Michelle, I don't see anything anymore.
Amazing.
Tell me
you're
all.
like fucking clueless.
I'm clueless. Tell me all about John Fugelsang.
So he's a comedian and he's a broadcaster, and he just couldn't take it anymore. Like
couldn't take what?
Just the temperature in this country.
When you say broadcaster, like a news broadcaster?
I think. I don't actually know what he was broadcasting. Could have been sports for all I know. But he decided to write a book after he started noticing like the weaponization of religion and faith in this country. So in the book,
it's right on my alley.
Yeah, it is. It's actually pretty well written and like pretty easy to read and kind of very tongue in cheek. And I found myself also laughing a little bit too. But it explores religion and politics and how they've become entangled in a way that often contradicts the core teachings of Christianity. And might I say, if you also read Megan Watterson's book about Mary Magdalene, you'll also see that the teachings of Jesus are quite different than what we're kind of hearing about and seeing in the world today. This book is less about attacking faith and more about asking, like,
I love
how
this.
did we get here?
And this is honestly one of my favorite subjects. I swear to God, if I can go back in school, if I were to go to school, I would study either women's studies or this whatever
cool.
this topic is.
Yeah.
Church and state and how religions have turned into like hate. Not all religions. I'm not calling religions hate groups. I'm sure does he reference national Christianity?
No, but he's really talking. Well, I haven't gotten to that yet, but he's really talking. He kind of like breaks down the actual spiritual teachings of Jesus.
Beautiful.
And like he's referencing like Bible verses and different things. And he's showing what Jesus was teaching was compassion, humility, and care for others versus what modern political movements are showing, which is using religion as a tool.
Yes.
And so this is just like a really
super
this
interesting.
is like makes you smarter.
I'm obsessed. I honestly might do an audio listen to this.
It would be a good audio listen. Yeah, honestly, it might actually be more fun.
And I would hope that it's almost him reading it.
Yeah.
This makes me, because I do a lot of thinking and a lot of reading.
You don't say.
Following.
You don't say.
Like Turning Point USA. What's their really core mission there? And why are they so entangled in our politics and our government? That's very scary and very dangerous. Great recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. See? Once in a while.
You came back.
Yeah.
And welcome back to reading.
Thank you. I can still read.
The brick healed you.
Every summer, at the end of the summer, I ask my kids, can you still read? And that's how I felt coming out of this.
Coming out
I
of
can
this
still
one.
read. It's like riding a bike, guys.
It's great. Welcome back. Anthony and I have started our own little book club because we thought it might be fun to do to ingest some content together and then talk about it. So we're reading a book called All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. Anthony went to the bookstore to ask for a book that we both love, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Book and film.
Is this noir? Is this Scandi noir?
No, I don't think. No, it's not Scandi noir.
Oh.
This takes place here in the United States and I think in Indiana. And it's a detective who it's heavy. I'm not going to lie, but I like crime fiction and nonfiction. And it's about a chief investigator sheriff of a town who witnesses something really terrible happen at a school. And now he's going to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
So right at my alley.
So a real uplifting read.
Okay. So let's dive into watching. Yeah, real uplifting. Yep. But you know what? I would rather take that than the doom scroll. Because this is like a story, again, long form. I'll sink.
I'd rather read that than a beach read. I will say, I can't stand them.
I can't do beach reads.
They're not for me.
I don't do light and fluffy. In fact,
don't do it.
I think Margaret Atwood, who is the author of *Handmaid's Tale*, I think she's a Scorpio, and I just saw this incredible interview of her with either Bazaar or like Vanity Fair, and she was like, "Listen, Scorpios write about certain things,
fucked up shit,
crime." Yeah, drama. We don't do light and fluffy.
Yeah.
We go deep and dark. And I'm like, this explains everything.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay. Now, what doesn't make sense is Inside the Manosphere with Louis Theroux on Netflix. Talk about
wow.
Well,
I mean, I was worried and scared, and I did suck my thumb a couple times, and then by the end, I just thought to myself, yet another reminder that everything we see on the internet, on social media, is fraudulent influencers leading you to believe one thing when really that's not at all.
It's just all a bunch of garbage, man.
What a bunch of
Well, let's
losers.
set it up real quick. So, Anthony, this was Anthony's recommendation.
Great rec.
Yeah, he was like, I've got a doc, and this is my first introduction to Louis Theroux.
Huge fan now.
He's got some drama behind him with another person that he's done some documentaries or business on. I have to do a deeper dive, but it's not nefarious, but there's like a stain on his reputation.
Jimmy Savile, which I haven't looked in that either, but I think it might just be like anything. Like he knew of this guy, and then this guy did some.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he's got a documentary about.
He made a movie about somebody that maybe did something that wasn't
like,
great.
People were like, did he know about? Yeah. So I'm just saying, I'm just being open about Louis Theroux.
Louis seems like a decent guy, and we're going to talk about that.
I loved his presence on camera. So Louis is a documentarian who isn't just behind the camera. He actually is on camera, which you don't see that a lot with documentarians. You usually see them or hear them off camera, but he's face on camera.
He made it. He actually made the documentary.
He did. And
because you needed him to
balance.
You needed him in the scene, or to be able to watch the dynamic unfold as he was literally blowing up the truth behind these clowns.
Yeah. So Louis Theroux sat in on with five different content creators, podcasters, TikTokers, influencers, businessmen,
grade A assholes
who basically they're totally misogynistic human beings who talk terribly about women, basically be rich, be strong, have a fancy car. I mean, they're complete, like you said, grade A assholes.
If you're looking for the worst advice ever,
follow all of these men.
Follow now.
But it really also is a real big red flag for people who have sons. I mean, listen, this is a red flag for anyone, because listen, if you're a grown ass woman and you find out a guy that you're dating is watching these guys and these are your guys' number one, he's their biggest fan, that's a red flag to me, because they are ingesting poison into their thought processes.
Correct.
But again, but you're a grown woman, you get out of that relationship, but then you've got younger humans who are being these men are heroes to a lot of young boys. And that's very scary because a lot of young boys then find themselves a partner who is, a female partner, perhaps in this case, and they are going to treat her like shit.
That is why I urge parents to talk to their sons and daughters about this. It starts at home. And I want to believe that the home foundation will overshadow some of this
I want to
crap.
say that's true, but at the same time, these guys have so much influence over even the nicest family homes. These guys, once you start...
Well, it depends on your home, too.
Of course it does.
Like, you could actually be getting it from a parent who watches this or a parent who's, is not aware. Like in the show Adolescence, the family has no idea, but the son has basically fallen into the manosphere. And
it's a good family. That's my point. Like, it's a beautiful family, and their son got lost in the manosphere and then did something horrible. So, anyways, yes, it gets deep and heavy, but these guys, what fucking dorks, man. And the other thing is they sit there and talk so terribly about women.
Boy, does their personality change
when the woman's around there, mommy,
or the vagina enters the room.
Isn't that something?
What a bunch of weak ass pussies.
So, yeah, I will say it's entertaining, it's mind-blowing, it's sickening, it's all of these things, but eye-opening because I am so far from the manosphere. I've never even seen these people on any of my content social media apps, thank God, but they're out there and their range is huge.
Yeah, they've got a mega reach. PSA, the fraudulence online is huge.
What do you mean? Like the pay for things?
No, I just think that people need to stay in check with knowing that what they're seeing is a farce. Young men, young girls, you can line them up. Ballerina Farm, Manosphere influencers. It's all a bunch of crap.
Yeah, it's literally just a con.
And it's alarming.
It's a handle.
It's a con job is what it is.
But they're making tons of
money. And yes, the concern for them creating an army of young men that establish a mindset influence like by this is alarming. So we need to really work hard at home. We need to work hard at home and talk to our kids.
Mm-hmm.
I wish our audience was millions of listeners so they could hear this message.
Mm-hmm. It will be.
Thank you.
And I think it's funny. Well, Louis is just like the perfect guy to like do this because he's not like necessarily like
combative,
a manly, what you would think is like a manly dude. But I think he's actually he's super even keel. I think really what you wind up coming away with is like he is more masculine than them.
Completely agree with you on that.
Like those dudes are so fragile. And you can tell they're trying so hard to keep up this facade, and they're so concerned with like that dude who pulls up in his car and immediately he's talking about the car. He's got to justify the car.
Are you talking about the dude with the car with the bad suits?
Yes.
Okay.
That said women didn't invent anything.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I almost blew up my house after that.
And when like Louis asked him about whatever, like one-sided monogamy, he's like, I could tell it's you're angry. It angers a lot of people. And Louis is like, do I look angry?
He goes, I'm triggering you, aren't I? And he's like, Louis is like, I'm just asking a question.
He's like, you're setting me up. I'm like, you're a psychopath.
You need to get off the roids, get a better tailor, loser.
Yeah.
But this actually leads into what I am listening to.
Can I just finish this one thing just to round out for our listeners? Because I feel like we've called them assholes. We said they're bad, but this is just to put into perspective of like the kind of stuff that they say and believe. And this was one of a shining moment for Louis Theroux was when he was sitting in on the podcast and they had someone beam in and the guy was talking about, hey, the reason why you want to be sure that you're with a woman who has never been with other men is because when she has sex with other men, that sperm and DNA stays within her. And that's why some of her kids will look like her ex-boyfriends. Aww. And Louis Theroux was like, that was the first and only time I actually saw him get a little elevated and be like, whoa, that's called misinformation. That's actually, you're not having kids that look like your ex-boyfriend from 15 years ago.
From a mixture of sperm. That's actually
But that's what kids are hearing. But it's, Michelle, as stupid as it is, they've got the attention of millions of young men and it's fucking scary.
That is fucked up.
That'd be wild if true. Like there'd be a lot of like.
I'd have so many kids running around that don't look like you.
Okay, you guys. Move.
Or I'd be having my kids look like me.
Yeah, that's true. It'd actually be worse. It would be like there'd be a lot of Anthony's all over.
Oh my God. I actually now, I guess that's more, okay, I was looking at that from the lens of that's just sheer ignorance, both on saying it and hearing it.
Oh no, people believe it though. That's what's so violent and scary about the rhetoric of all of these things that are happening now is that social media, as much as we want to be like, oh, these guys are dorks, they're dangerous dorks.
Yeah.
I put them right up there with like the Erica
DDs.
Kirks. Like you
Double
guys.
Ds.
Double Ds. Dangerous
Double
dorks.
Ds.
Like you're a dork, haha, but you're dangerous, spooky.
Yeah, dangerous, spooky.
Michelle, you're going to double down on Louis Theroux.
Yeah, because after I watched that documentary, I wanted to hear more about what his take was on that experience. So I stumbled upon a podcast called the Ramesh Ranganathan or
I love that.
Ranganathan Show. Okay. Louis, and that's the host of the show, and he interviewed Louis Theroux, and they talked about internet culture, the manosphere, and getting cooked.
What's getting cooked?
Remember in the manosphere was when they were sitting at that big round table. Was that when they like humiliated
the women?
Louis? No, wasn't there something where Louis did not know that they were live streaming or something?
That was Tiki Taki, HS Tiki Taki.
That was the one who's
they were live streaming him, and that's when that was. I believe that was the
that was when
Louis didn't realize that creepy guy in the corner
was
holding
live streaming the whole time.
Live streaming.
How about that dude? Like the intern
gaper?
to Tiki Taki dude.
The gaper.
It's a gaper.
Peeping Tom. He was like a creeper John.
I'm like, could you imagine if your son's like, yeah, I'm gonna go intern and just follow around this douchebag with the camera,
and I'm gonna stand on the outside of the
and not
patio,
say anything. I just
creeper John.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he got cooked.
Anyway, so Louis Theroux joined this gentleman for a podcast, and I have to tell you guys, if you're looking for a laugh, love it. First of all, Louis Theroux is absolutely one of the funniest humans that I've encountered on TV.
I mean, when did you meet him?
We went out to dinner.
Tell us.
He's hysterical, but he talks about like his experience filming them. They talk about previous documentaries, and it was just incredible insight from a viewer's perspective on what was going through this dude's head, and also like how he practices his craft of sitting and having really hard, awkward, weird conversations with idiots at times. Anyway, I'm sorry, I'm not being nice. We've really gone off track with being a little bit kinder. I have about these fellows.
These guys are not kind. They don't deserve kindness. I'm sorry.
I don't really feel a lot of respect for them because for me, you lose me at inauthenticity. Like when you go inauthentic and then you double down with the misogyny, like I've got nothing for them.
Yeah, they're literally what they put out is violence against women. It really is. It's saying women are inferior. We're just baby makers. We're sluts if we've had more than one partner or 5 partners or however many partners. There's only should be one of us.
It's okay if they go fuck whoever they want. And so weird. So mind-blowing. And the double standards. And also what I was finding though too is those gals in those situations, I'm not so sure they were super pumped about what was going on.
I don't think they were pumped.
Either.
I think they were surprised by some of the rhetoric.
I think Louis might have blew the top off of some things.
Thank you, Louis.
Thanks, Louis.
Thanks, Louis. Michelle, what was your simple joy of the week? Oh my God.
Corresponding with Catherine Andrews on our YouTube. She is like just a delight, and she has taken a liking to Cozy Conversations, and I have thoroughly enjoyed her comments. And so I just want to say, hey, Catherine Andrews.
Catherine.
Like, thank you for being my simple joy and writing in and tuning in.
Oh my God, Catherine. Thank you so much. We love that you engage with us on YouTube.
Yeah, too fun.
That was a wink just for you.
Oh, wow.
I used to say lip kisses, but that got me into some trouble.
Yep,
so no lip kisses,
anymore.
so you just get a wink. But speaking of engaging with our audience, you guys stay tuned. We are setting up a speak pipe, which is an opportunity for you guys to leave us voice messages. In fact, you guys, it's set up. It's going to be in the show notes.
Yeah.
So just if you want to hang out and leave us messages, we can play them on the show.
Yes, no, we're doing it.
We're taking reviews. We're taking podcast topic suggestions.
Is there
we're taking
number?
Hate mail. We're taking it's going to be a link.
It's a link. It's a link in,
and I
then
think
it
they
rings
can.
in.
You'll figure it out. So check out our show notes. My simple pleasure was last week we went to the beach. It wasn't like swim weather beach. It was just to go to Montrose. The Montrose Bird Sanctuary in and of itself is
it's epic,
a beautiful place. But we brought the kite, and flying a kite.
Oh.
is one of the most simple joys as a grown woman that I've had in a long time. There is a science to it. We're navigating it. I've learned how to lengthen. It's just one of the purest forms of joy I've had. Thank you, kite. Whoever created it. Was it Ben Franklin? Did he invent the kite?
I think he figured out electricity when he tied the key and then the lightning struck it.
Who
and he
knew
was
kites
like,
had been around for so long? Go. That was in my head the entire. What's that from?
Mary Poppins, dude.
Sorry,
Up where the air is clear, oh, let's go fly a kite, God, and send it soaring.
Oh
and I thought Luna was going to go soaring because that little peanut was holding on to that kite in a strong wind, and she was going to be gone.
Soaring. I thought her arms were going to get dislocated. She was holding it. You hold the kite down here. She holds it above her head. I'm like, she's going to dislocate her body.
I thought she was getting taken.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
You guys, thank you so much for joining us for yet another cozy conversation. Michelle, always a pleasure.
So fun.
I'm glad you woke up. Michelle was asking if I had any uppers before we press record.
Now.
You are. Well,
all
we need is a cozy conversation, which is the perfect reminder that if you are feeling low or feeling like I need a little bit more joy, make a date with a friend of yours that you can have a real fun and honest conversation with. Yeah. And I guarantee you're going to leave that moment feeling better.
Totally. Because remember what we always say around here.
What?
If you don't hang out with your friends and laugh,
you're dead.
You're poor. And also to stay cozy.